the use of the modal would. In this short video, we will take a look into how to use the modal would, how it works, how you can create sentences with these very important modal. In Spanish, we have something called the subjunctive mode, which is when you express something that you wished you happened and sometimes does not happen. In English, these modal adds that that type of mode into the sentences. So in Spanish, you can say that this word adds la terminación ia al verbo que le pongamos después. So for example, I can say, I would go, y lo que estaría diciendo es, yo iría. Okay? So the modal would is like the subjunctive mode, but in English. Le vamos a agregar la terminación ia al verbo que esté justo a la par. Let's see some uses of this very important modal. I can say, for example, I would go to the party if he takes me there. All right. So I am expressing a wish. I wish I could go, but I don't have a ride. So I would go to the party if he takes me there. Okay. That is an example of a positive sentence. And I can also say, I wouldn't go to the party for $1 million, which means you will not go. You do not want to go. So you can express it like that. I wouldn't go to the party for $1 million, which means there's no circumstance. Under no circumstance you will go to that party. Okay. Now, the sentence structure, as we will see on the last slide, is the subject, the modal, then the verb, and whatever complement you wish to add after that. Right? Let's see another example on how you can use the modal word. It is also used to say what you like, what you love, what you hate. So you can say, I would love a coffee. Now, the word would can also be contracted into apostrophe D. I repeat, I would can also be contracted into I apostrophe D. So instead of saying I would love a coffee, you can also say I'd love a coffee. Okay? Repeat after me. I would love a coffee. Now let's say it contracted. I'd love a coffee. This portion is pronounced I'd. It has to sound. You have to make the sound of the D. Otherwise, you're not saying the same thing. I'd love a coffee. Very well. Now, in this other part, you can see some other examples, some other uses of the word would. When you put the word would next to rather, in Spanish, you will be saying preferiría. Okay? Would rather can be translated into Spanish as preferiría. Okay? I would rather you came with us. I would rather you came with us. Now, this would can also be contracted in I'd. Therefore, you can also say, I'd rather you came with us. Now, repeat after me the first portion. I would rather you came with us. Now, the second one. I'd rather you came with us. Excellent. Now, you have to practice saying it quicker. You have to say it as a regular conversation speed, so you have to go fast. I would rather you came with us. See, once you catch certain speed, then you can fluently communicate. I'm going to say number one a little faster. I would rather you came with us. I would rather you came with us. And number two, I'd rather you came with us. I'd rather you came with us. Good. So these are some of the uses you can do with the modal would. The modals are super important. I always teach them as super powerful modes. You can use them into questions. They don't need auxiliaries. They can be negative by themselves, and they are very powerful. So let's see some other uses of the modals in the sentence structure. Okay, you always have to remember that the way you make a sentence is by having the subject. Remember, your subject can be a personal pronoun, which can be I, you, she, he, it, we, they. Or they could also be names: Carlos and Jose, Bill and Jose. Okay, you can also make combinations on the subject. Then you insert the modal would, then the verb, followed by the complement. I would love a coffee. All right. Thank you very much for paying attention and enjoy the next video.